I've had my P1S now for quite a while, and I think it's about time I do a review. Now, yes, there are other YouTubers, big, small, and throughout the teen, that have also made P1S reviews because honestly, these are fantastic printers. And well, I'll be added to the long list of YouTubers, big and small on my end, that just praise Bambu printers and praise the P1S because the P1S is just a good printer. I even recently got myself another P1S to at least make the whole process of printing off my figures go by a lot more quicker. You'll probably also know throughout the video I do have a Centauri Carbon. This is one of the more later models of the first gen, and you may note that it has a lot of dust on it and whatnot. It's not to say this isn't a bad printer, it's a good printer when it works, but it has its little issues, and I can go over that in a little bit in this video. But first, I need to continue praising the printer that actually deserves to be praised. So, like I said, this is a fantastic printer. It barely has any problems. It does have a few that I will mention. One of them is apparently it eats micro SD cards. The original micro SD card that came with my first P1S, it died. The SD card on the other P1S has yet to die, but since these things unfortunately eat micro SD cards, I had to go and buy quite a few multi-packs. That way, so when the cards do die, I can actually do that. And in the current RAM storage crisis, that's about $100 in micro SD cards that are eventually going to self-corrupt and become worthless. And unfortunately, without the little micro SD card, the printer does not work. It's one of the annoying factors of this thing. And of course, granted, when this was originally being produced, the RAM storage, and what guy we have right now, thanks to AI slop, wasn't even a thing. So can't really blame Bambu on this one. Gotta blame the AI tards on the current issue we're having right now. So with that said, again, even with the eating micro SD cards, it it's a fantastic little printer. Obviously, print off a little riser. I got these little plug things right here. I think these little plug things are from this chair right here. And I'm using that to just raise the lid up just a little bit more to give it a little bit more airflow. Because I did have a clog on the nozzle end. And me lifting this up a little bit more and doing a small little mod to the fan or to the little nozzle end, this little mod right here that you see where I move the fan just a little more farther away, that has also made it to where, as it currently stands, I haven't had a clog since I've done this modification, and I've slightly cracked the top lid and whatnot. As you can see with the other one, I've done that too. I just haven't printed off that riser piece yet because I don't have a spool of PTEG that's big enough to do a print off. And also I haven't done it for the little nozzle and whatnot because again, I don't have a spool of PTEG. But even still, I was able to use this printer alongside the other one to actually finish off my Resident Evil Village Bella. So let me go and show her off. Now, before anyone asks, I do not remember how many spools it took, nor do I remember how long it took. I just know that printing her off took quite a while. Another thing you'll note is that she's not in her dress. There is a very valid reason of why I printed off this version of her compared to the version of her with the dress. Simply put, if I printed off the version of her where she's wearing her dress, it would have eaten up a lot of filament and it would have made her even more heavier than she already is. I plan on eventually getting a proper dress for her, but at the very least, I now have her fully printed off and she came out fantastic. Another thing I do want to note is that when I was initially printing her off, I was using my Centauri Carbon. Then I got myself a P1S. Then I did a comparison print on another print I was doing. That other print was my Mass Effect 3 Jack. I'm actually going to have to be reprinting her also. I'll be explaining why in a little bit. But when I did my test comparison prints between my P1S and my Centauri, the Centauri printed off pretty consistently also, but it has the elephant's foot. And since I've yet to figure out how to fix elephant's foot, now I've obviously, since I've printed both sections off with the P1S and whatnot, but I can't seem to resolve the elephant's foot on the Centauri Carbon. So when it comes to these nice small details, like for tattoos and whatnot, I gotta go with a knife and whatnot to remove the elephant's foot. And when I do that, I also mess up all the little details for parts of, like, again, her tattoos and whatnot. And of course with the P1S, since the P1S doesn't have elephant's foot, I don't have to worry about it. Again, it's not to say the Centauri Carbon isn't a fantastic printer. It is, but for what I tend to do, not having to deal with elephant's foot will literally make or break if I use a printer or not. I'm reviewing the video I just recorded, and I just realized I never explained why I need to reprint Jack. I need to reprint her because I recently learned a way to hollow out my figures, and because Jack here is not hollowed out, she's somewhat heavy, and if I went for the full life-size print, she would be very, very heavy, and I don't want that. One of the things I made certain of when I was initially printing off Bella was I figured out some way to hollow her out. I did hollow her out. The majority of her head is hollowed, her chest is hollow, her abdomen is hollow, and even the hip area is hollow. But the legs right here, they're full solid. That way so they can maintain structural rigidity and actually hold her up. But even still, she is still fairly heavy. And that's because the hollowing out method I was using initially was pretty atrocious. But I've now since found a more proper way to hollow out my figures by using this tool right here. I'm actually going to be utilizing that, or I am utilizing that, for another figure I'm printing off, or going to be printing off, and that's Pulova from Withering Waves. If Blender can open up properly. As you can see, there she is. Let's see, how can I show off that she's hollow? Give me a sec. Here's Pulova's head, and if I hit this, you can see now that instead of it being a full solid infill piece, there's little lines right here basically showing that the head is now hollow. So if I do perform cut, I tell it no, and then I will go and change the filament color so you can actually see it. You can see now that there's quite a bit of a hollowing out in her head, both on the bottom section and on the top section right there. Now obviously there's quite a bit of mass on the inside, and that's to allow for other things to happen. But either way, this is the method I now learned of to hollow out my figurines. Now again, I did that for Bella, but it's very horrible. It did its job, but compared to the method I have now, which of course is this program right here, I can now have a more proper, consistent hollowing of whatever figure I'm trying to print. So that's why I'm going to be reprinting off Jack. But before I reprint off Jack, I want to work on Bella. Or not Bella, but Pulova. So with that said, let's now get back to the this video and whatnot. And since I've yet to fix the elephant's foot issue on my Centauri Carbon, that is why it sits there and collects dust. Next to the also issue of the cable for the hot end actually just breaking on me. It broke on me 3 times now, or actually 2 times. I'm on my 3rd cable, and that's another reason why I don't really use my Centauri Carbon. I did use it previously, but as you can see, the print I did about maybe 2 months ago is still on the bed. Because again, I just don't use this thing because the P1S is still print just a little bit more better than the Centauri. If the Centauri didn't have that elephant's foot issue, I would absolutely be using it alongside my P1Ss. But again, since the P1S doesn't have elephant's foot, it's just that small little difference that pushes me over to the edge to be a Bambu fanboy. I very much want to see Elegoo become basically as good as Bambu and whatnot, but currently I don't see that happening. They could easily turn it around, but I unfortunately just don't see it happening. So with that said, if someone from Elegoo sees this video, fix the elephant's foot issue on the Centauri Carbon, because as it currently stands for me, I will continue using my P1Ss because currently they are the superior product. And since I'm getting towards the end of the video, I can now hopefully show off Bella completely without the algorithm going, ew, beautiful woman, and sending my video into the shadow realm. So with that said, obviously Bella here is 100% life size. She is very, very tall and also very beautiful. Now, granted, as you can tell, I haven't finished her, or I haven't painted her, or anything like that. That's a skill that I lack, unfortunately. I'll probably need to find someone locally to fully finish her off. But even in her unfinished state, where she doesn't have all like the paint and whatnot for her, she's still a fantastic little figure. And on top of that, I can use this model right here alongside Mita to piss off a bunch of Puritans on Twitter. Apparently, they really dislike Mita more than they do with Bella, which is honestly kind of funny because with Bella, she's, well, in lingerie, and Mita, it's Mita. Whatever. Twitter freaks are Twitter freaks. And with that said, again,